welcome to the Motto podcast. My name's Ashley Ray, Chip, Ironik, Kritikal. And yeah, on the way here, we was actually talking and it came across that we actually all have around 50 years experience in the music business between us. So, ironic. The correlation between us all is that we all know each other through Chip. So, I think ironic, I want to start with you. How do you know Chip? How did you guys get to know each other?
Do you know what? Yeah, we know each other years now. But
yeah, proper.
You know what? It's always blurry to me. A lot of people know that time of my career or life more than me. But I think you can probably tell me if this is wrong. I think it was through a mutual friend, Jerome. They went to the same school. And he told me, yo, there's this MC, he goes to my school. He's hard, trust me, he's going hard. You need to meet him. Obviously, I was producing, engineering, and DJing at the time. So I was like, all right, let me hear him, man. Like, bring him to my studio, bring him to my house, in my home studio at the time.
Yeah.
And then, he brought him down to mine one day, and then we were cool from then, working from then, literally.
And that was when man was about 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
So we was both kids.
Young,
at that point. But I could see straight away like his drive and his interest in music, and he could probably see the same as me, like loving music, loving what we do. So we just started working from there. Like every week, shit would come to mind. New instrumentals, bashment instrumentals, everything. Wings, we get the wings from up the road. Like this kebab shop from up the road from mine was like legendary for their wings.
Proper.
So we just connected like that, man. And then from there, we was like, it was a friendship as well as like working together. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's it, man.
And how did Tiny Dancer come about?
Tiny Dancer. So this was like obviously after we'd worked with each other from like me producing and doing the home studio stuff. I was then putting out my own stuff on Channel U, and then things were going well for me. Obviously we put out Stay With Me, and then Chip was bubbling as well, heavy. Like I think Muhammad Ali was out them times. Obviously Who Are You came out. I
think Defeat You as well.
Defeat You, all of them tunes.
All like the underground bangers were running.
Even did you Chip out then? Or not
I
yet?
Stay With Me. I can't remember which
I was
one
in the
was
video
first,
for that.
you know, but I remember, in the video for Chip Diddy Chip, but I remember in my life and times, the first person like that did a chart thing was Ironik.
Yeah.
So and my first time I was in the charts was with Ironik. So that might have been actually before Chip Diddy Chip.
Yeah, it must have been.
My first ever time even hearing the word chart was with Tiny Dancer still.
Yeah.
And then then it made me think, that's when man started having convos about like, raw, is it a label thing or independent vibe, XYZ, ABC, and then we did like Beast, and it was like, whoa, this one didn't go where Ironic's one went, you get me? But then
that's one of my favourite tunes you've ever done, by the way.
That was hard still, but then Chip Diddy Chip, and then I got into my little bag running still.
But when the label came to me with Tiny Dancer, obviously not being ignorant, but I didn't come from Elton's music.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't know his music too tough like that, so I was a bit like.
So they came to you with that song?
Yeah, my A&R came to me with the sample. He was like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was like, this is the song you need to run with next. We need a follow up from Stay With Me. Trust me, it's gonna work. But I was like, it doesn't make sense. I produce grime music. Stay With Me, I made in my bedroom. I'm not familiar too much with Elton John's music, so I was like, I'll do it. I've done my verses, but then I was like, I need someone else that's credible. One of my favorite MCs at the time to come and jump on it with me. I'm saying that's when I hit up Chip. I was like, yeah. And you was on the Stay With Me remix as well. Not a lot of people remember that.
Yeah.
We've been working, you know.
Been working.
Been
working.
Yeah.
Now over to Kritikal.
Jeez. Litty Critty.
I'm interested. Maybe Chip can tell us about how he knows Critty. You know, I kind of know myself, but for people who don't know you, I see you on Chip's Snapchat, I see you on Kreps and Conan Snapchat, I see you on AJ's Snapchat, I see you with Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry. Like,
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere I need to be. No, I'm joking.
Chip, how do you know Critty, and how did the relationship come about?
I met Critty when I was 15 or 16 through Vash, who was part of my management at the time. I just remember I had these days everything's fucking filmed, innit? But them times, not everything was filmed.
Yeah.
But it was like a point of, you should start filming your shows. So I'm like, if you don't want to get the shows filmed, like, get the shows filmed, innit? All I really cared about was just crushing the show.
Yeah.
Not even so much the money at the time. It was just like, I don't know, just want your MySpace pop in. You just want to get that wheel up. But them times it wasn't like a film it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like, now, like, you go to a concert, the standard thing is everyone just like,
Cameras.
them times people used to actually enjoy a show fully.
Yeah.
But then I can't remember where I think the show, actually I do remember, the show was in Torquay, and I'd never heard of Torquay. And then I said, yeah, so Vash comes and he's like, oh yeah, I've found this kid, he's a really good
Oh yeah, we met up in Tottenham we met up at the KFC in Tottenham.
Nah, it was Chicken Express.
Was it
Chicken
Chicken
Express?
Express?
Yeah, the saucy ribs, yeah.
Yes.
Anything
met.
to do with food, chicken.
Yeah. Oh,
And we have a food bond as well.
yeah.
Then anyway, so this
Different.
guy comes out the car, like, he just appears, yeah, and he's just like, he's been this same guy, like, I'm just thinking, like, Rash, where you gonna find this madman? You get me? So anyway, we're in this chicken shop now. We order, like, boom, we gotta hit the roads, we get food, boom, boom, boom. All right, scaring mad, he's got ribs. So already I'm preying him. I'm putting you on the ribs thing, bad man. I'm saying, all right, cool. So we're in the car now. Like, I'm thinking, like, I don't know, this guy's a bit different still, you get me?
I was in the back.
Yeah, he's in the back, so we're in the car now, and we're going, and all I can hear is, like, before man's even opened my pack, I can just hear... It's going mad. It's going mad back there. I've turned around in this car, yeah, like, a man's got ribs on his face, ribs up his forearms, he's looking mad, he's froze. He's just looked at me like,
Did I do
like,
something?
yeah, I don't think I was meant to do this on the job, but
That's exactly how I looked
this is
at
who I
man.
am, you get me? And I just started busting up, and then from there, it was like, I like him, man. Like, I like people who be themselves, innit?
Yeah.
And then, like, once we got up there and you get me, he got to work and he did the job proper. There's like a classic picture of like me and him when we was little and like signing people.
So you was doing videography from then, like.
Yeah, and a question I get asked a lot is like, I don't know, but in a watchy time, it's like, what does Kritikal do?
Yeah.
But Crit's a professional.
Yeah.
Like, Crit's done many, like, I wouldn't even just call him a videographer anymore. Design work. There's like people with platinum, triple platinum records that he's done the artworks for. Content creator.
Yeah.
You did the DB
even more.
artwork, didn't you?
Yeah,
What one did you
A
do?
majority of them. I done Blueprint.
Blueprint?
Home Alone 2,
Yeah.
Trauma, PTSD.
Classics.
But that's the thing about these times. People will just see you and just, they're just nothing. And I call it just nuff.
Do you know what it is?
What does he do? Like, he does bare things. Like, he's not,
Do you know
he's not
what
just
it is?
around
I think
everyone for play.
We're from an age where we're not into that. So, like, we're not in tune like that so far. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the reach of man's work, I feel like I'll post it up on like my Insta side, like, yeah, I just done this artwork, but that's it. I won't brag about it. I won't be like, yo, I just done and having everyone's face. I'm really kind of blasé with it because I feel like, I don't know, man. We're just old school, innit? Like, I feel
We
like
just crack on and get on to the next. I hear that.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? We're just old school with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the work speak for itself, sort of thing. The watchy thing, as you said, it's real, innit? So if people don't see you,
What does Crit do?
do you know what I'm saying?
Ask him, man.
You also do you do events, right?
Yeah. That kind of started off as a hobby, though. I'll be real with you. Like, just litness, like man's birthdays. Then it just turned into a brand. Do you know what I'm saying?
How can we sign up?
Huh?
How can we sign up?
You're the member.
And on that note, let me just say a big thank you to M Restaurant, the new branch opening. We're here now before it's open in Canary Wharf. If you don't get the time, make sure you get down here. It's amazing. We even got an event coming up here that I can't put the date out publicly because it will turn into a roadblock. But yeah, big thank you to M Restaurant. We appreciate
100%.
you having us in your space for the
But yeah, it just turned into a brand, really. Like, obviously, everyone started calling me Litty Critty. They saw how lit the parties were. Obviously, I've got some amazing friends that pull up. He always pulls up. Cashmore always pulls up. Obviously, crack on. Everyone just pulls up, and it's just a vibe that you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you've always been known for having like good energy though. As well.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it made sense for you to naturally do that next as well.
Yeah, like
Get it?
Nah, I appreciate that.
And I think as well, a lot of people that are just probably like on Snapchat and on the outside looking in and think that like, man, just party, for instance. It's like, you don't realize like, when you're in a creative industry or creative process, from like the very start where there's nothing, and then the process of turning that into something, it's like every moment's a celebration.
Right.
It's like you picking the right beat is a celebration. Coming up with the right lyrics is a celebration. Putting the beats on the lyric is a celebration. Getting the mix perfect is a celebration.
And
Getting the master perfect, and it gets all the way to the visual aspect side in terms of the art I'm talking about, and that's why. And then with the more art, the more content that you put out there, you become more popular, and then there's more celebrations. Do you get what I'm saying? And something for us that becomes important. I always say, like, someone might disagree. I just feel like people in the public eye are like an endangered species. You get me? Like the safest place for us to party is at our own things.
Parties,
so man just throw man's own settings and don't really nuff up man. So
that's exactly what it is.
It is.
but sometimes it just takes, even like how we're here, like man's kicking game with like mics in front of man and stuff. Like, don't get it twisted. There's still music and it's definitely coming. But the way times are changing, it's like evolve or be extinct. And I'm very good at sitting back and letting people off the mic. I mean, like just talking, letting people talk
paint
for
the
me.
narrative.
But I think it's time now that more people that are professionals to other people, it's like I could sit here and say I'm a professional at what I do, but I feel like other people actually say that for me at this point. Should come out and speak for themselves more.
100%. Yeah.
Because if you don't, whatever anyone could say in these times is what people will run with. So
that's what one thing
I finally got to a point again where I say I don't mind actually like speaking.
Talking. Well, that's one thing I've learned in the last few years. Like apart from you, you're one person from my generation who always bigs me up, and I respect you for that, bro, highly. But a lot of the people around that time when we came out, they forget to mention my name a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So I felt like the last few years I've had to go onto podcasts, do podcasts, and talk out for myself. Because if I'm not gonna do it, other people ain't gonna.
And I think, and that's like a key part that I play like in the game. I'm like a bridge man. Do you get what I'm saying? Between the older generation and the younger generation, and between like making sure that the true story's told. Like, I don't even really, I don't care, because obviously I love music, and when you love music so much, I was chatting to Wiley the other day, and I was telling him, blood, I know I've got another one. I'm walking around with a song on my phone, like, you lot don't know what's on my phone. And he's saying, he said, you will get another one, because when you love music, it loves you back. And I thought, right, he just kicks those mad ones. You get me? But it's important that, like you said, you felt like, nah, man, I got to go out there because they'll miss my part. But when Chipmunk says, if you're talking about originals, like there's so much people that along my journey probably feel entitled, like, they're my originals. But it's like, you might not be, you know, mate, because I remember getting a W5 to Ironik's house to make music. In terms of like my music originals, even like grime, it doesn't start at Wiley. Do you get what I'm saying? The East London, when East London starts to acknowledge me, yes, that starts at Wiley. But we had our own thing going on in North London, where you might have found me and Ironik at when he bust me on his single, and now I'm in the charts and I got tailored and I'm walking and it's all, you get me? But we really put in work from like bedroom studios out. You know what I'm saying? Or even just, some people would think because it's more, I don't know, maybe because the Boy Better Know link as well. But like my grime career starts at MSM and the BBK link, but it doesn't. But that's why I say, like, if you don't tell your story, like, other people are gonna tell it for you. So when I've said, you know, I don't mind talking now, and I also feel that with the way my career has gone, the safest place for me to speak is on my own platform. Facts. Where Ashley controls what comes out. But you can see how calm, I ain't saying no mad thing, innit? But and bring in people that I want to tell their story, because I know that Do you know what I mean? People know that I know my thing, you get me? So yeah, if you know my thing, you gotta know Ironik's thing, you gotta know Kritik's thing.
Yeah.
And that's the starting point. And you gotta know Ashley. So now Ashley can tell you,
Jeez.
my manager, you get me, I'm my cousin, god sister, you get me? She can tell you how she knows me and how we started working, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ash, how do you know Chip? And well, obviously we know how you we know how you know Chip, but how obviously you lot are god brother and god sister to each other. But how did the working relationship happen between you lot? Because obviously, not only do you style, but you actually manage him now. So how does that work with you?
Yeah. So
and how long has it happened for?
I've been managing Chip for about 7 years now. And I started out as his stylist probably about 9 years ago. And, you know, obviously we was close because we're god brother and sister, but it was just something that I probably just fell into. I remember going to the I Am Chipmunk tour. Was it in 2009
or 8? 2009.
2009, yeah. And that was a really, really like monumental time for his career. Shepherd's Bush. And I remember going to that and thinking, wow, like Jamal's actually a star. Like this is lit. So then when I started working as his stylist, I kind of got to see the ins and outs of it. And one thing about C that I must say is that if you know him and if you have a talent, he kind of always tries to encourage you and put you on. 100%. So when he found out that I was a stylist, I remember he was like, yeah, just style me then. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't have no experience. I think I was specializing in fashion design at the time. So he really did help kind of like kickstart my styling career, because when I started styling Chip, I went on to work at Atlantic Records. You know, I was styling a lot of musicians. Like I was really getting myself out there. So thanks for that, bro. But it opened the door for me. But separately, I remember I had a gig with him at Barfly in Camden. And at the time, he had moved on from his previous manager, Sammy, and was with a new manager. And I remember seeing him perform at Barfly. And this was probably at the time when...
We can call it a time when things was unfolding.
When things were really unfolding. And I remember, like, anybody that was probably there would have known that it was probably like 100 capacity. So from going from Shepherd's Bush a couple years prior to that, where it was like a 2.5 cap, I remember thinking to myself, like, what's actually happened? Like, what is going on? So I remember looking at Janae and looking at Ram, and I was like, what's going on? Is this the industry? Like, is this what they're doing? So I think from that moment, I was like, well, I made the decision there and then that I was going to try and help where I could. I didn't have no experience.
Yeah, and what I'm also, just to interject, what was also happening was like things that I was going through off the mic was creating a standpoint where now my management is, if you know me, I'm known to change my number, innit? Yeah. But you can't, no one can get hold of me. Yeah. Like family can't get hold of me, no one can get hold of me, innit? Right now, safety first, so I'm just out of the way. But it was coming like, to get hold of me, people would hit Ashley instead of hit my manager for like things that need to be done. Plus they're in LA, so like time difference and all this stuff. Yeah. And then it's like, so when they've got used to dealing with her from the styling point, but it's like, we just need to get through to Chip, innit? Yeah. So like one time I was just sitting and I was like, you know what? I'm like around the Barfly times, and there was another show as well. Then that was like the final one where I said, blood. It was like some proper Matrix type shit moment where it was like, all right, guys, watch this. Like, like, well done, you got me. Now I'm mad, watch. Like, I'm gonna, and it was literally, all I've said the whole time is, I'm getting back to Shepherd's Bush. Like, that's it. That's all that was on my mind. Like, the whole time, I even used to say, like, by I get back to Shepherd's Bush, I'll retire. But now that's off the bucket list, and I'm not stopping no time soon. Like, now I'm coming for everything. Like, I want my own everything. Because the music's still flowing and it's going to keep going, but you get, it was a proper, like, a proper uphill journey. Do you get what I'm saying? A fully independent uphill journey. I think one CD I put out with a label, God bless them.
It was 1010,
yeah. Burgess still, because he's the guy that originally signed me as a kid. Yeah. So it was like, once I got back on my ish, it was like, let me see if it is adapting. Yeah. I weren't adapting. And we've been independent since.
Yeah, we've been independent since, yeah. And again,
helped put the B back in my bonnet still.
Congratulations as well, because in May, Chips sold out Shepherd's Bush again.
Jeez.
So that was
yeah.
At the time, you know, when I first started managing him, I just remember seeing him at Bathline and being like, how can we get him back to Shepherd's Bush? Yeah. And I remember saying to him, because at the time I was the librarian and I was working as a communications officer as well. And I remember I said to him, look, I believe in you, so I will leave my job just to show you that I've got faith in you. You're one of the most talented entertainers that I know, and I'm not being biased when I'm saying that. And I said to him, look, if all we can do is try, and if it works, we can tell our grandkids that, you know, it worked. If it doesn't work, then at least we tried. Yeah. And 7 years later,
it's working still.
It worked.
That's mad. Yeah. That's that belief though. You both had it. After you had it, and Chip, you saying, like, I'm gonna get back to there.
I knew it, man, because you see what it is as well, yeah? It's like muscle memory. It's like, you remember me as a youth. Yeah. Like, I'm just a super workaholic. 100%. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that never, ever actually left me. Like, no matter what I was ever going through, one place that I would always go and still deliver the same is studio. Yeah. So it was more about, like, sometimes it's like the classic saying, like, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard is really true. And then it's also understanding energies. Like, because we're here and it's us talking, there's a few people that I've had moments and powerful conversations with that really help channel my energy into, if I be honest, what felt like to me, I wouldn't say making people into me again. I would call it reminding them why you like me in the first place, because it's like you blow up and then there's just all these other things, like these smoke and mirror screens that come around you, and also even other people, sometimes even people on your team. Yeah. And it creates an energy where sometimes people stray away from what you're doing, forget what you're doing, don't want a part of what you're doing, all types of things. It's like people in front of these invisible doors that people can't see, and they close them on you, bro. It's like a real, like, it's a real psyche, like, it's not just some normal, oh yeah, go studio, spit your bars, they'll love you again. Like, it's a real war, fam. But it's with things and people that the public can't see. Yeah. But to get back to that point where it's like, I got back there, innit? Yeah, like, I just wanted to do Shepherd's Bush again, and I got back there. So now it's like, raw. I don't see it as far-fetched, me doing the O2 one day. I don't see it. And I think that to me is such a mad journey to even, if I was watching someone, if I wasn't me and I watched someone else go through the journey I've been through, I'd find that so interesting. Plus, I still got my hairline. You get me, 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ashley, how was it for you transitioning from stylist to then music manager? Like, from seeing the inside of the music scene, like, what did you think of it then?
Also, sorry, I want to add to that as well. Just a little top up on his question. How does that working? Obviously, sees your family as well. How do you differentiate, like, the business and the family? That's a good question. That's what I really want to know.
That's a good question. I'll touch on the first one. The first one was the style.
The transition just from, because like C said, like, the industry is crazy. Yeah. We've seen it all in it.
Horrible, bad.
You know what I'm saying? So
it is a lot. It was a lot, really. And I remember when I first started, the connects that I'd made through C in the industry from styling, which kind of helped me a little bit. So I knew what a lawyer was. So there was a lawyer that went by the name of Berkeley. Big up Berkeley. He really kind of put batteries into my back, and he was like, look, I know you're just starting out. Nobody wanted to mentor me at the time. And it was just a case of him just literally putting me in these rooms and these meetings and saying, look, this is Ashley, like, I can vouch for her. whatnot, and he literally like schooled me on the game.
That's it.
And the transition from styling to music, I would say, in fashion, it's like they're friendly, and it's mainly like female based. But in the music business, it's the majority of the people that I'm dealing with are men. And when you're a woman, when you're a black woman in this industry, like it is probably one of the reasons why I am so kind of hidden and behind closed doors, because I realized early on that, you know, my privacy is my peace, and it's what keeps like my mental health in check, because I feel like the industry, you know, I'm more of use inside. Like I'm not of use being outside. Like I would rather connect with people and do the business in-house and inside and make things happen that way. But when it comes to Chip and kind of differentiating between family and business, I would say, I think being vocal as well, like me and C, obviously we grew up together. Like I take a lot of my dad's values in the relationship that C's dad and my dad have, and that is like loyalty. Their loyalty is so strong that like I definitely, whenever we go through things, it's like I always just think about the relationship that our parents have. And it's like Chip's like a brother to me anyway, so nothing gets left unsaid. And for me as a manager, like I always tell C, like for me it's not about the money. Like not all money is good money. I'm concerned about his mental health. I'm more concerned about how he feels. I'm more concerned about what it will look like in 5 years' time. Will we be happy with that decision in 5 years?
That's important.
I think that works from so much in
and
both of your favours.
And also on that point of, are we going to be happy in 5 years? If we look at the decisions of the rhythms man was slapping out 5 years ago, in the moment, everyone acts like, oh my God, them Cash Motto niggas is going crazy. But guess what? 5 years later, we'll do them all again. Because it was the right decision for us to make in terms of where we're going with our 5-year plan. But all them decisions that we look at 5 years ago musically, are we happy with them? 100 million%. The outside, where it's like, okay, cool, that might have affected you guys. Of course, you're not going to be happy with it, but we got to do what is solely best for us at all times, because we're not with you guys. Like we're on our own thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So at any time, if this is best for us, but it's gonna upset you, we're gonna do it, because we're not with you anyway. And you counted me out. You did. You thought I was done. You thought I was finished.
No,
so that's man's mentality now. It's like, nah, whoever has to be upset is gonna have to just be upset, because it's us versus the world.
Literally,
because
that's what it is.
Man's had serious moments. I won't even name any artists in that, where it's like, I know this thing gets shady and villainous. You get me? Man are plotting on your downfall and then smiling in your face when you come around the corner. It's literally like that. So at any given time, if Cash Motto got to do what's best for them, and that upsets you, I'm apologizing already, because it was gonna happen. But hopefully things have been a lot more peaceful.
A lot more peaceful.
Like the safest narrative to run with, if you're not on our team, is that he's the Clash guy. But let's not be silly. You get what I'm saying? I've sold millions of records.
Please remind them.
I made Oopsie Daisy.
You know what I'm saying?
And I use that one as the reference, because that's the reference, isn't it? That's that. You could never be as happy as me. Or you would have made that song.
But let me ask you this. What I'm saying? Let me ask you this, bro, because this is another narrative we hear. Like, people always ask me, like, they talk about that time when you made Oopsie, I made Stay With Me. Why do they call it like the pop? Like
the funniest thing is, why do they call it pop? I would say personally, because when I go to any festival and I go dudum, I don't even have to spit now, so it must be popular, right? Alright, cool, safe. And that can come under many sounds, but I would say that that's a pop song, and I like it. Like the song that's #1 right now. In the charts. Who sings it again?
The LF System.
LF System. What's it called, JC?
Afraid to Feel.
Afraid to Feel.
Rhythm.
You don't see me how I dance and iron my clothes to that song. Like, it's really me. Like,
so
you get what I'm saying?
Act like we regret that time.
No, I don't regret any. I love it all. I'm an all-round musician. And also, you got to look out for them heads, because there was a lot of people in that era when it was happening,
Yeah.
all of you were clapping. You all had your champagne. You just wanted to get around.
Oh, I remember.
You just wanted to get around, man, to try and learn and understand.
How to make one of them.
Make one of them, wriggle in, maybe be the guy that signs it off. It was all round of applause. 10 years later now, when the door gets broken down, and now black people are on legal radio, and it's a standard thing, or they don't even need radio. They can just do iPhone, internet, TikTok, and mad up the world. Now it's, the pop era. But when it was happening,
it wasn't that.
You lot was breading, man. Allow it. And I can go through every single person that you think is so hard that has had big songs and show you one of their ones. So maybe the ones you hold on to are just the ones that done really well. And I don't mind being a person that has one of them because we all know my technical ability. Is it? You know what I mean?
No, facts.
So don't even let that get to you, bro. Just
no,
press play.
I don't, but
go in the room with women and press play, bro.
But I also want to touch on as well, obviously with Ironik, we've seen a few people kind of sample, is it Stay With Me?
RD.
And it's, I feel like the past year, I remember C said to me, nah, man, I think Ironic's going to have another run.
Jeez.
And that's probably why Ironik was the support DJ for Chip, Snakes and Ladders tour.
I appreciate that.
Normal fam.
But I just wanted to ask,
help bust me.
you guys, like, how many times do you think an artist gets a chance?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of them come and then go.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very appreciative. Like I come home from doing like different countries, Greece, Ibiza. Come home, I'm tired, but then I'll be humble and appreciate that man's still out here working and people are still coming out to check for us. You know what I'm saying? After how many years? Like you don't really see it a lot, bro. For me, I don't know how many chances you get. I think it's about how many times you can reinvent yourself or come with something different. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Me, I would say it's different. I can only speak if I speak for myself, I would say as many times as I can get my alignment right for the task ahead. But I can also look at people that have come out from when I did, some from even before, some even after. And I don't see it happening again. I hope that it does, because I want the best for everyone. Of course. Black, white, pink, blue, whatever. Like, I just want the best for you, innit? Because if the best is happening for you, you ain't worrying about me. You get me? If it ain't going right for you, I might be on your mind. Yes. You get what I'm saying? So I want the best, but I think it's your alignment, and it's not just people have to take it from someone that, if there's something that people always say to me, is that when it comes to like words and rhymes, I'm super talented. Take it from someone that's talented, that has said, I've seen things unfold when my alignment wasn't right, and I got my alignment right and got back on. It's not just about talent. It's not just about the song. It's not just about the beats. It's not just about the bars. It's not just about your team. It's everything aligning. Like it's everything aligning. It's literally like, you ever lay on your back and just look at the stars? Imagine for the life and love of you, how hard it would be to take all of them and put them in a line. That's what it is. And when they align, plus that like perfect 3 minutes,
like making the
that's when it
cake,
happens.
Innit? You have the right ingredients.
But you can have the same ingredients 10 times but not make the same cake.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So it's
gotta
like,
know when to take it out the oven.
And when the energy and everything is aligned, plus the perfect 3 minutes. And these days, songs are 1.5 minutes sometimes, so maybe not even 3 minutes. You catch a rocket.
You catch one.
And then do the right thing with the rocket. Cause it feels good to me to have songs that I made when I was such a youth, man, that still, when they come on, still feel like the first time.
We saw it the other day, bro.
Yeah, when we was doing the festival, Press Play, Oopsie Daisy, mad, sing that. If I go to any dance, when every gal comes on, it feels like a song that came out yesterday. Do you get what I'm saying? It's good to have classic songs and also the opportunity to have more. Do you get what I'm saying? Because along the lines, and it's like, I see, was it in Steven's podcast where Example was saying, like, he hates when he gets in a cab and they're like, do you still do music?
That's the
classic one. It always happens. But I feel like people forget, that the way people consume music has also changed so much that we forget that a lot of people only still hear music when they get in the car, listen to Radio 1 or Capital or whatever, and they're on their way to work. That's the only way they hear music. we're so consumed by social media. We think everything's just Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
Everyone
whatever.
should know what we're up to
Everyone
every
should
second.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't. But I just get that
Yeah.
you won't hear me
Yeah.
on radio like when I had a machine
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and a radio plugger for every single man was making in man's first run, because it's not my first run.
Yeah.
I'm on like my third or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I get it. It doesn't annoy me. I run jokes, man. I be in the car. I just say whatever. I've been every job. I'm like, nah, man. I've got into painting.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I just practice my acting skills. I just say whatever in it, and then go and do my show on the weekend or whatever. But yeah, that's. I swear, me and a cabman boy. Yo, so what's going on? I know your face. You like a chipmunk, yeah. What you doing now? What you doing now? I'm like, bro,
Home and decorated.
yeah. Life's sweet, you get me? But yeah, the opportunity to still be able to create dope art forever is just a blessing in itself.
Bro, yeah.
I do see more coming, 100 million%, because consistently, since I would say personally that I saw things unfold for me, things have only gone up. And I got back to Shepherd's Bush without all the things I had behind me when I got to Shepherd's Bush the first time.
Yeah.
When I done Shepherd's Bush, that's like I Am Chipmunk tour, that platinum album. It's like I had record label, radio plugger, press team, you name it.
Yeah.
So even when I was saying, like, I did become a bit anti everything for a minute, but I just wanted to know I could do it myself on my own terms.
Yeah.
Mostly just barring.
Yeah.
Like, made the odd, I'd probably say in between time, the hits I've probably been on is like CRB Check, How It Is. There's been a few, like, couple silver records in the run up, you get me? But it reminds me of when I was a kid. It's that building again to that moment's coming where you're gonna clip that 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm still here for it, man. I'm on it, 100%.
For me, it's been a bit different because I don't know. I started out as a DJ. I've kind of done a 360 going back to that. Like, you know, I'm not the biggest bar. I'm not. I never wanted to be the coldest MC. That wasn't really my thing. But so I've said to myself, how can I reinvent myself without kind of having to do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because it is a lot as well, bro. Like you're saying, like for me, like keeping up with MCs and doing all that stuff, I think that was like out of DJing, producing and being an artist, that was like one of the hardest things. Yeah, bro, because I'm like, it's long, you know, like writing songs every time.
If I could DJ, I would.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, let me go back to the DJ thing, but try it, because that was what I originally fell in love with. That's what I love to do. So done that. And then, just kind of working back up the ladder to kind of reinvent my brand and show the younger generation who know the songs, but you know, can see the other talents that I got. And then, the RD thing come up and that popped off. That year when RD approached me about the sample, I think I heard Tion Wayne done a version of Stay With Me. Lowski done one he showed me, which was cold, by the way. Dino done one. So I was like, this is mad. Like, it's all coming back around again. But it's crazy to see, to be fair.
Yeah, no.
But I got to give you the props, Chip. Like, for you to be able to do that in every generation, like from when we started, and still, like you said, you caught another like CRB Check and all these tunes that are still ringing. Bro, you got to take your hat off to you, get me?
Chip's probably one of the most hardest workers that I know. But do you think that your time in Atlanta, because I know American artists, they're very, like you used to say before, that they used to sleep in the studio.
Yeah,
like,
wives in the studio, kids in the studio.
Do you think it's because of that? Like going to Atlanta and like, it was basically like work experience for you.
Yeah.
And then for you to be able to kind of be in those rooms, you've come from London, you've gone to Atlanta. What was that like? Was it like did it feel like you was back to square one? Was you?
Yeah, it felt, it felt like? It just felt like a whole new, I don't know. Imagine you're playing, I don't know. It's like, imagine you're on roller blades and then now you got a roller skate.
Yeah.
It's just like a completely different setup.
Yeah.
But one thing I definitely took from America and the Atlanta scene, if I be honest, was work rate. Like in England, the studio is very like, I don't know, the engineer comes at 10, wants to get home by 6, can't smoke weed, you know what I mean? It's just not.
I've seen it firsthand with C still.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand abroad with him. Like he's
like, man,
like
the machine.
bro, I'm a studio machine, you get me? But going to America was like, oh, there's other machines that are on it like that. Do you get what I'm saying? And then, what else would I say I learned from America? It's just, if I be honest, it reinstated my belief in culture. You get what I'm saying? Like how powerful Atlanta is to America gives me the feeling of like what grime did and does for England. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like you can't beat culture and influence. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't beat culture and influence. And obviously, my first thing that comes to my mind is grime because that's how I learned how to bar. But then since in England, the only person that I would say I know is on working like me is Young Ads.
Yeah,
Jeez.
facts. Young
You get me?
Yeah.
Now, let me say DBE because also Prince and
big up
also
Prince.
LB. Like they're on mad works. And more times, if I be honest, when I've been Studio Ibiza a few times, but when me and A lock home, we just lock and it's almost like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, like, is it ADHD? Like, it's just like, we're just, I can't even explain it yet, but you can't stop us. Like,
It's the passion though as well.
Serious, like
Passion's
when we
there.
was doing Insomnia, whoever's leaving first, we're trying to rush each other. Like, no one's allowed to leave. We're here, yeah. We're going in. You get what I'm saying?
It's-
Slap that out in like, in all together recording days. I would say probably about a week, but there was like a break because it was like over Christmas or something.
That's mad.
But yeah, Lockdown probably did the album a bit dirty.
But it's low-key a classic.
It's a
still.
classic.
Yeah, of
classic.
course it is. But they'll come back and they'll say that.
And what about you, Kritty? I see you in LA. You be working a bit over there. What is it that you're doing over there? Is it?
Nah,
How did that come about? It was because you were at the OC, right?
well, let me get into this. I was waiting to get into this. We gotta sit down for. No, I'm joking. How I built, how I established my first connection in LA was Cause C. I remember it was time, like I can't remember what year it was, but obviously me and C's all from the jump when we linked. We've always, as well as should I be real with you? Me and C never really we didn't really have a business relationship. We was actually
Just
brethren
friends,
that
yeah.
actually linked each other and like, yo, Kritty, man's got this, man's filming, say nothing. It wasn't never really business with us, but so he's told me he's going to America, and I can't remember what year this was. It's like 2013, 2004, 12. Like, I can't remember exactly what year, so don't quote me, but he was going up there, and I think I was going through a mad stage. Like, I don't know if I just broke up with like my girl. Like, I can't remember.
The Hollywood thing now.
Yeah. And man said, and C was like, yo, I'm going to LA. And then something inside me was like, yo, my uncle lives out there, but he lives in the dungeon part. So he lives in Crenshaw. Like, my uncle lives in Crenshaw, you feel me? So I'm like, yo, I want to go out there. And I got my last 3 bills. I had 3 bills. I swear to God, I kid you not. I had 3 bills in my account. I remember. And I saw on Virgin Atlantic, the thing was like £290 for a return ticket. I swear to God.
You're lying.
I swear down. I borrowed the piece from my brethren. I borrowed the bills from him, and I cut to America. So he was saying, yo, I'm going. And I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going. I just took the risk, bro. On my mum's life, I had 3 bills. I kid you not. I had 3 bills to my name. And I got that 3 bills probably 2 days for a little artwork job that I botched out real quick.
So when you went there, was you making money?
Yeah, did let me get to it. So
I just want to know the money part.
So obviously man's gone out there now. So yeah, I've told you the story of like just prior when I was in the UK about like taking that decision to make the risk to go LA with no funds, but I just know my family's out there, so I know like I'm not paying for a hotel. I'm kind of good for food, you know what I'm saying? I'll risk it. Fuck it, man's getting out there. So man's gone out there now. He's saying he's working. Obviously, he's got on his own accord now. Like he's working, he's got his own pattern. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna try a thing, man. Like London's dead. I'm depressed. I just want to get out. Like boom. So I've gone out there now and I phoned him, and he was like, yo, man's in the studio. Pull up. You feel me? And then one of my brethren from over London that lives in LA now, my boy Cam, he picked man up from the airport. Bear in mind, big up my brother Cam, cause if it went for Cam,
that bill's gone.
yo, trust me, cause if I'm getting the cab from LAX to Crenshaw, brother, I'm dipping out the cab. LAPD's on man now. So I've hit my boy Cam. He's picked man up from the airport. He's like, yo, what you want? I was like, nah, I'm good. He was like, nah, I got you. I was like, all right, cool. In and out, still, trust me. In and out burger, boom. So he's got me. He was like, yo, Crit, let me know. If you need to go anywhere, like, if you need anything, Crit, I got you. This is what Cam was telling me as soon as I've got to LAX. I was like, say that, and Chip's in town, Chip's in the city, so I'm probably going to link in, but I'm going to base off at my uncle. So I've got to my uncle's. Yeah, boom, I've seen the setup. Yeah, front room settings, on the sofa, booling off. Popeyes is right there, it's cheap. I'm booling off, you get me? I've based off. The day after, I've hit C. Yo, see, what you on today? Boom, boom, boom. Yo, I'm going studio, pull up, you get me? I've got studio with this was the day you had studio with Eric and Tommy.
Okay.
You get me? So now he's gone so man's pulled up at the studio now. He said, yo, come. I've hit my boy Cam, obviously. Man's still brack. I'm floating. I'm risking it all. Listen, I'll say it on camera. Yeah. This is the sacrifices.
Yeah. The sacrifice you have to make, guys. Yeah.
This is the sacrifice I took. I was in another country with no money. I was floating. My energy was getting me about. Yeah. My brethren Cam, like, was just like made sure man was good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so man's got there now. I've got my laptop, obviously. I got my laptop, and obviously I was like, you know what? Let me just start banging out some covers. You feel me? Let me just do something. Let me try. These times he's in the studio with like Eric Bellinger, massive R&B singer, and he definitely, like, you know what I'm saying, working with Chip, like they're doing something, and obviously Tommy Brown's there as well, producing whatever, and there's just bare creatives in the room, you get me? See, he's working, man's just working, but I'm just on the laptop trying to pattern, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, do you not need any art? What, And then I was just connecting. Obviously, Chips made the connect, innit? Chip said, yo, you lot, this is Critty, this is my guy. He does that, all the design work, like, yo, hit him up, like, he's proper, he's out, And then from there, the rest was history. Eric asked me to do the album cover for his debut project as soon as he got signed. The Rebirth, it was the Rebirth album.
I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, so I designed that album.
That was you?
Yeah,
I designed that,
and so people can paint the picture. Eric Bellinger, I know how the times work. He's one of the vocalists in Usher's Tiny Desk that came out recently, but he's not just a vocalist, he's one of the most amazing songwriters ever.
Amazing.
And Tommy is TB Hits, who is Ariana Grande's main producer.
Okay.
So it's not no play.
Yeah. This is what I'm getting to this, man's getting to this. So boom, obviously, man's patterned with Eric now. Yo, what's your PayPal? I got you. Brother.
I said shades up.
Well, my brother, you see Neiman? Shout out my brother Neiman.
Tap.
You see, as soon as that PayPal came true, I was like, okay.
How much was it for?
It was for a look. I done his logo. I done the Eric Bellinger logo, and I done the album cover, and I also done I done like 3 singles, and I ended up getting like 2.5 bags for it.
Because you was in LA for quite a bit.
You're not listening. Let me finish. Let me land. So obviously I got that 2.5 bags. You get me? And then obviously Victoria, that was with TB Hits at the time.
Victoria
was like,
Monet?
Yeah,
okay,
Victoria Monet. For those that don't know, she obviously she's a singer, and she needed her branding done. She was like, yo, I need my branding done. And then obviously Tommy was like, yo, I need this done. So like, they're seeing what man's doing, and they're like, yo, we actually need this, like. So Tommy was like, yo, like, where you staying when you're out here, sort of thing. He asked me that. He was like, where you staying? I was like, yo, I'm staying in like La Brea near Crenshaw and that. You get me, in the hood. He was like, yo, if like you want, come stay at mine. You get me? Boom, boom, boom. He's got a nice place. I was like, for real, like. I just felt mad. Mad humbled. You feel me? I was like, yeah, boom. And that's how me and TB Hit started working together, and then that's just off the connection of C. Like that's the.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Me doing like the cover art for like Chris Brown, Megan Trainor, going on tour with
Did,
Ariana
artwork
Grande.
for Chris Brown as well?
Yeah, for drunk texting.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I ended up doing some stuff for a Samsung campaign with T.I. and Victoria Monet. I ended up doing Megan Trainor, her album "Thank You," that went platinum.
Serious?
Yeah, I done
So
a
just
lot.
is that from that one that
all,
trip?
Just from that one leap of faith.
all off the back of the introduction that Chip made in the studio.
That time, yeah.
There's a lot of people that's opened doors for me and I would never rule out, you know what I'm saying? But the amount of doors that sees open for man on like a worldwide scale, bro, like, do you know what I'm saying, is different, bro. Like the amount of clientele that I've got now in America because of him. Do you know, just putting me in the right places, in the right rooms with the right people, do you know what I'm saying? But another thing is, though, to everyone that's watching and everyone that's trying to take notes down or gems down, is that talent will take you into the room, but your energy will keep you there. That's why I think, like, obviously I don't want to toot my horn, but my energy is always right with
correct.
people. You know what I'm saying? So
correct.
that allowed me to kind of pattern.
Yeah.
So from there, man, I rinsed my Esther. 90 days now. I'm in this. Esther's Esther, boom. Like 90 days, I'm rinsing it. And yeah, I ended up just establishing a good network out there with TB Hits, Eric Bellinger, Neiman, Bear People, J Mev. There's a fat list that I met off the back of C.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? I met Travis, Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul. I was in the studio with him and
Crazy.
T.I. Yeah, doing artwork, bro. Doing artwork for T.I. in the studio with Tommy. And Nipsey Hussle's there. And I'm doing my artwork, bro. And we're talking about Ethiopian food and that, bro. And this is just through C.
It's through C.
And no one would know this. Do you know
this is why I asked you the question, because we had a topic to say, you know, if there's one artist we could give our flowers to. I sent this question to Chip, but it was kind of just like a loophole for us to kind of revert back to the fact that I think we all need to kind of give Chip his flowers on here, because
get his flowers. People
he helps a lot of people, and it's really important that you tell those stories, because I didn't know that, and I'm in house.
Thank you lot as well. You get me, car. There's, like I said, when you're someone that's in a position where you can help people, the next thing is who's the right people. You get what I'm saying? So big up.
What advice would you give to any new artists that are kind of going through it right now? Like, what can they do to kind of stay on top of things?
Boy, it's mad because obviously you lot know me, innit? So you know that my angle and my approach is very tough. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the first thing I think, and the first thing, because the mic's in front of my mouth, that I go to say. But I've come to understand that, like with age, that not everyone is as mentally strong as me. And I think something that has helped me survive the whole time is mental strength. So I would say to young artists out there, just try and identify some strong people and study them, like study their journeys. Or London's small, there's some of us over here as well. Just reach out, man. Get around some strong people and take some strong energy and have those conversations, because like I was watching the Arsenal doc the other day, and I've always said it, but hearing it come from Arteta was even better. It's like, this is England, where they build you up, but the next fun part is breaking you down, So, and we all come in knowing that. So don't fucking let it happen, innit? Like, what you got to do, who we got to see, who we got to speak to, like, what we got to do. And also, I would say, if you know you weren't moaning when you was on a high, when you're on a low, don't fall into their hands. Take the time, come offline, and go and find people to communicate with. And like I said, I haven't done it myself, but what is it? Is it therapy? You need to go speak to someone different, or it's just someone that made you want to do this thing. Do you want to go kick it with them and have a conversation? 'Cause I used to do it, but there's still a couple, man, that I consider my OGs, you get me? And a whole load of them that I would never call OG again, but they could probably tell you a story of at a time when I reached out and I said, blood, man's going through it, man. I think you might know, because you've done a similar type course to man. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, someone can't help you with your homework necessarily if they ain't done that exam, but sometimes they can. But I would say, like I said, if you wasn't moaning when you was on a high, don't let them see you moan. when you was on the low. Go do that shit with someone that's gonna keep it where it should be.
Yeah.
Because we all come into this thing knowing like we're ethnic minorities in England. We're gonna, if we get on, boy, God bless us, you get me. My parents were born here, so even just sitting in this chair in this restaurant that ain't open yet, I feel fortunate. You get what I'm saying? When you know it's British Bulldog culture, build you up, break you down. When you know that's happening, don't feed into their hands, bro. Go and speak to your people in private. Turn off your Wi-Fi, turn off your iPhone and go speak to your people in private, blood. And do the things that it takes for you to build yourself back up again.
100%.
We knew what this thing was when we was coming in, and
Sign up for it.
we knew. We all know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, when I'm the same.
Tough.
When I'm going through it, boy, I go, like you said, I go off the socials because that's the chance for them to.
Don't let them get you, man.
I think social media today is very, very toxic. I think a lot of people show their highlight reel, but not the real of what really goes on in day to day.
When it was your highlight, and then now, you know, it's like everything. They screen grab everything and post the numbers for everything these days. So now, like, people can see it's not popping like when you was having your first run or whatever. You don't know, get your energy right. You might clip another hit. You get what I'm saying? Look how long, for instance, Wiley's been Wiley. But look when Wiley got Bossy. Look how long Skeppy's been Skeppy. But look when he got...
Bad energy.
Bad energy. That's one. That's not me and Shutdown. That era. Bad energy's after that.
Keep going.
Do you get what I'm saying? You got to keep fucking going.
You gotta
by all means. And when it's not right, you get what I'm saying?
I think it's also
offline, man.
The element of kind of being able to maintain. Because I think, you know, new artists, they get given all this money and there's not... I don't feel like labels...
No guidance.
They don't give them no guidance on like the financial side of things. So I think if you're a new artist and you're about to get signed or you're signed, it is really important that you kind of think, okay, cool, I've got this money now, but in 5 years' time, I might not be popping. So how am I going to maintain this money? Do I set myself an allowance? Am I going to rent? Am I going to buy? Like all of those different things that you have to take into account when you're an artist. It's like you might be hot today and you're not hot next week.
Or in
so
5 years.
You really do have to kind of set yourself up for the future so that when you do start having those points of, okay, cool, you might be kind of declining in the music that you're making, you've got money on the side, and then your mental health isn't deteriorating because you're worrying about creating a hit to be able to pay your bills. So I feel like maintaining...
Or even how much you see, just like seeing... Like, I got a strong mind, innit? But if someone doesn't, like, Instagram alone might be enough to make you jump the bridge. You get what I'm saying? Because you just want things, and do you know what I mean? You don't necessarily understand what other people
have done to get
have done or go through, or how much hours they put in to get them things. You get what I'm saying? Everything looks like I said, the video, you watch it, you click it, 3 minutes, you say it was shit or good, all in that 3 minutes. You don't know how much went into that. Do you get what I'm saying? Or you see the picture with the #1 trophy and you don't see all the years of, you get what I'm saying? But I'm strong, so I get it, but some people ain't. But if you're not, and you are someone that is in the public eye, like I said, if you wasn't moaning when you was on a high, I just advise, don't let them see you go out like that. That's, and not even advice. I might be wrong. Maybe it might work for you, showing everyone. But me, if I'm someone that you look at and you think, you know what, I can tell this brother's like, he's been through things, like I'll take his word for it. Then I would say that. Don't let them see it, man.
Don't let them see it. So just to wrap up on that, you know, obviously all of the things that we've seen recently with artists not having the guidance, we've actually just launched our website, cmguidance.com, which is...
Yeah, basically, I've always... You see moments and glimpses of like different artists coming out and saying, Chip told me do this and it worked, or Chip linked that and Chip boom, boom, boom. You get what I'm saying? So I've always wanted to find a way to help without someone necessarily signing to me. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I've been a kid that was signed to someone and one day didn't want to be signed to them, and there's no way the media portrays that as positive. So I just never wanted to be in that position. So we've found a way for people to reach out for guidance if they need it without signing to me for a duration of time. So keep your eyes peeled and I look forward to helping anyone that needs some help, because I'm definitely someone that gets help when I need it.
Come on. Jeez.
Sure.
And just to close, Ironic, by the time this podcast is out, you'll be a married man.
Jeez.
Come on.
Off the streets, B.
Off the street!
Off the street.
Well, I've been
Yeah.
off the streets, but
Yeah,
legally. You know what I'm saying? Just
I just wanted to ask, because obviously
Yeah.
we're all in the industry, and me, Chip, Critty, we all talk about relationships and how hard it is to find the one.
Yeah.
Can you give us any tips on what it takes to kind of find your significant other when you're in the industry?
Do you know what? For me, like obviously, I'm not some relationship guru or anything. But for me, it took me a while, man. Like, especially being in the industry we're in, like, to find that one who has good intentions and is the right girl for me. It took me ages. Like, I was going through, you know, I went through my phase where I was dating loads of women and doing my thing. But when I met her, she came into my life at a point when things were going bad for me. I just had my incident. I got robbed outside my house and all this stuff. Moved out of London. I was depressed, weren't talking to anyone. But you know what? I thought, let me go out, meet some people. And I met her through a mutual friend. So we knew the same person. But when I met her, I could tell that her intentions were pure. She was a nice girl, you know what I'm saying? And the way she made me feel was totally different to how other girls usually made me feel. So from there, I knew she was the one, man. And the way she would pick me up from that time when I was really down was very important to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll put it this way, I was so depressed that, like, when I would walk into a room, I'd feel down. I'd feel like everyone was against me. But she told me, make sure when you walk into a room, you put your head high, be confident. And, do you know what I mean? Just built me back up to who I am.
I love
today.
that. I love that.
Yeah, so from there, I was like, yeah, this girl's for me. And she's the one that I'll be with probably for the rest of my life. Without getting too emotional and soppy and that, but you know what I'm saying?
I remember what I said about your wedding, cuz.
No pressure, yeah? No pressure.
No
but
pressure.
yeah, so, and this week's the big day. And yeah, man, I'm excited.
Hey,
We're
mega
excited
congrats,
for you.
man.
Come on, I appreciate
Congratulations.
You know, man's
Come
always
on,
happy
boy.
for you, cuz.
Family,
You get
come
me?
on.
Yeah,
No, I
man.
appreciate it, man.
Looking
But
forward to
yeah,
that.
I guess we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
That was it. It was a
Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
guys for having me, man.
Episode 1, innit?
Come on.
episode
Come
one.
on.
I'm saying.
You already
Uh-oh,
know.
podcast.
You already know.
Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Come on.
Gang.